Just because it's late wipe and we have wild events doesn't mean that you can't make money or that you don't need to make money. Lots of folks still need cash to fund their raids to go partake in the events or just to play the game normally. Now, some special circumstances come out of these events because of a simple dynamic, and that's supply and demand. When these events happen, a ton of players come rushing back to the game, most of them having a ton of money, and they just buy up everything they need to play. So this tilts the supply and demand dynamic into a very lopsided way where there's not enough people feeding everybody buying, which just sends prices through the roof. Now, many of these things I'm going to mention to you might seem simple, but they get left on bodies that are looted. Especially Sanitar and his guards, people will just leave these items because they don't realize they're worth pretty good money. So for this event specifically, let's go over a couple items that are going to make you some good cash. Danny's right here. Oh, I hit him twice with a sword, dude. He's fucked up. So first up, we're going to talk about fabrics, specifically Cordura and Aramid, but Cordura is the most important one. You're going to see this thing push 45,000 rubles all day long. And one of the big reasons for this, and you can see here, is on the resets of Ragman, Cordura gets used up on tons of barters. You've got the Baggerly, Slicks, ACPCs, the big raid backpacks, all of them require Cordura. And whenever Ragman resets and all these barters come available again, people rush and buy them up. This sends the price through the roof. You're able to sell Cordura quite frequently for like 45k, maybe even more. Now, the key to this is just crafting it. Obviously, you get your 4 slings from Ragman for about 2,000 rubles a piece. You're just over 8,000 to craft 1 Cordura. Then you can sell that for, let's say you're selling it for 40k, just running this in your hideout. You don't even need fuel to do it. You're going to be making like 24,000 or more in profit, depending on if you have level 3 intel or not and how high your hideout management is. Now, this also applies with Aramids. But the key is where you get your P.A.K.As. I buy my P.A.K.as off a fence for 25,000 or less, and sometimes you can get even much cheaper. And then I'll sell the Aramids for 25,000, usually more, again on the resets. This is going to net you a hefty profit, especially because sometimes the Aramids are even pushing 30,000, as you can see on the chart right here. Now, again, like I said, the key is I come in on fence, sort by here, and you can find them. Like here's one that's 25,791. I'll buy that one right there. And if you're really paying attention, I don't see any on here right now, but I've definitely bought some over the last couple hours. You can get yourself security vests and scav vests for like 2,000-3,000 a piece, which can also be used to craft fabrics and make a bunch of money. Now, followed up closely by this is D batteries. And the reason D batteries are important are for 2 specific barters. This one right here on Fence or on Jaeger for the D-Lock, which is required for the Reap IR thermal. It's the only way to get it. You can't buy this other than somebody selling it on the flea, which you can see they run for quite a bit of money. But the D batteries are also used up, probably more so, by people trying to get impact grenades off of proper. Right here, you need 2. Now, because of this, you'll see D batteries as low as 10k and go all the way to 35k. Just make sure that if you're selling them for that 35k price, you're watching your flea market fee. Because if you don't have Intel 3, you're paying over 50% on your fee right now as it is. And if you get much higher, it even gets expensive with a level 3 Intel. Now, the next one I'm going to mention isn't necessarily specific to the event, but it kind of happens with every event, and that's Eagle Gunpowder. As long as you have M67s and M18s unlocked from Peacekeeper, you can buy them for pretty cheap. And you buy them on the resets. There's more than enough to get through this craft, and you craft yourself 2 Eagle Gunpowders. Now, I have 40,000 in here, and you're going to make 46,000, 50,000 profit per craft, but that's with no reduction in your flea market fee. This goes through the roof. Like, I'll turn on my progress, and I have max hideout management and everything. I'm making 52,000 on each of these crafts. And the reason this is because everybody's coming in and buying up green gunpowder and sending the price through the roof, 40, 50,000 sometimes even. And this is because of what you need it for. A lot of people are crafting BP, 762 by 39 BP, as you can see right here, uses it, as well as Eagle Nick and 995 PB, some of the other big crafts, but also the red gunpowder craft. The Hawk craft requires a green gunpowder as well, and the Hawk gunpowder is used for tons of ammos as well. So there's tons of use for this Eagle, so its demand is through the roof for a while. Now, for a lot of other things, weapon parts, magazines are through the roof. For example, if you're trying to sell one of these AR-10 PMags, you can probably sell it for 35, 40, 50,000 rubles. Some of the more common ones like MP7 mags, you're talking 70, 80, 90, 100,000 rubles to be able to sell these. So just keep an eye out on that kind of stuff. All the stuff that we've talked about in some of our previous videos, it's worth a lot. But one that I'm going to mention that a lot of people are overlooking is SP7. Now, it's 9x18 SP7, and the reason I want to mention this, to ignore these spikes that are kind of weird glitches. But SP7 sells from anywhere to 700 to 900 rubles a round, sometimes even more. And the reason this is important is because this is what Sanitar has in his Keter. And every time so far that I found Sanitar that I didn't kill him and he had a Keter on him, it didn't matter if I was a scav or a PMC, it was on there. It was unlooted and all the ammo was there. It takes a little bit to unload that ammo, and there's over 100K in ammo right there on Sanitar that most people are skipping and leaving behind. Now you will find SP7 around Alamo, which is Fortress or Stronghold, whatever you want to call it. I call it Alamo. So make sure you pick it up. It's worth a ton of money. On top of that, things that people are leaving behind are IFAKs. Now, the deal with IFAKs is because people see they're used and they don't pick them up. You find them on the guards, and as long as they're like 250 or more durability, you can still sell them on the flea for 25,000 rubles. So they're still worth money. You might even be able to get away with some of the other ones, selling them for like 18,000 on the lower end. What I usually do is if I end up with one of those, I craft them into an AFAK and sell that, but that's a whole nother story. But don't skip over partially used IFAKs. They are still worth good money. But another one to round this out is because, not necessarily because you'll find these on Sannies, but Sanniers guards, but you'll find them inside Alamo frequently in all the loot spots. And it's blood sets. And you can see here, I got the month out. For a long while, blood sets were really kind of not worth taking. Quite frequently, they sold for less than 10,000 rubles. They were just better loot. But right now, specifically because of what we're seeing, blood sets are pushing like 20K. Now I'll hop on the market right here and see if I can show you guys one real quick. Because it is volatile. It goes all over the place. And that's because they kind of get snatched up all at the same time. Right now you're seeing them 15, but I've seen them 20, 25 pretty regularly. And that's because of the barter with therapist for Augmentin, or I'm sorry, for ibuprofen right here. You need a blood set for this. And lots of people just use the ibuprofen period as a painkiller, and they're kind of expensive. They push 50, 60,000 rubles. It's cheap right now. Of course, I'm showing you this, but they don't usually stay that low. In fact, I'm going to buy that one up because I'll use it to craft a Propital later. And that's the other side, is what people are using them for is to craft Propitals. Because if we'll go, let me hop in the hideout over here and go to the med station and I'll show you the Propital craft uses an ibuprofen, and people are cranking those out, especially if you're like me and you use golden stars. It's one of the best things to do with a 2 out of 10 golden star, turn it into Propitals and then use them or sell them because those are worth a bunch of money as well. But that's it for now. Quick, simple, down and dirty video to help you guys make some money through this event. If you want to see what I'm doing and get some more detail about it, come check me out on my stream over on Twitch. I'll be streaming most of the weekend here as we try to get through Sanny and the 11 kills for the task there. And we'll probably stay hunting on customs just to hunt players because the PvP is just absolutely fantastic right now. Quick mention, if you're looking for some music, I have my own music. It's my music. We're up to 120 songs, 8 albums. It's on Spotify and other places as well, but it supports the content. It's great music for you to listen to. But if you're a content creator, you're more than welcome to use it on your stream or in your YouTube videos. Just make sure you attribute us, and you don't have to worry about DMC takedowns or copyright strikes. We're not into that evil shit like the other record labels are. It's there for you guys to use. That's what we made it for. But we'll wrap it up there. I want to thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.